How's it going, guys? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit out of the ordinary. I did a lot of these kind of videos when I first started doing my team content, but today we're going to be ranking 11 through 1, I guess, of the final Spotlight Sim opals and the all-time Spotlight Sim opals. So basically for the final Spotlight Sim opals, you only need 10 games won to get these cards, and then for the final Spotlight Sim ones, you need 5 games won. So they're very easy cards to get, and there's a lot of people that don't even really know about them. So that was kind of my main reason for making this video, as well as trying to get some content out and doing another ranking video. But yeah, so for example, I have like Steve Smith. He's a all-time Spotlight Sim card, and he's really good, like probably a top 5 shooting guard in the game, and that's no cap. You can watch Ty Debo's video if you want on his top 10 shooting guards. He's the best my team player in the world, and he has him at number 4. So that'll just tell you right there. And sometimes I'll be using him, and people are like, oh, how'd you get that card and whatever. And I'm just like, all you got to do is win 5 games, bro. Like, it's really not that hard. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And I guess, I don't know what the title of this video is going to be. Probably like best short grind free opals or something like that. Or maybe I'll just put the final Spotlight Sim and all-time Spotlight Sim in the title as well. But yeah, so if you don't really understand what I'm talking about, you'll see here in a second, but I'm just going to go over the new content first. Still got the fan favorites. They're going to drop packs tomorrow. My thought is that they're going to do the WNBA packs, because they accidentally put WNBA players in packs a couple weeks ago, if you guys didn't know. So I think this week that's what they're going to do, and then I think next week will be the last packs, and those will have GOAT LeBron. And because if you think about it, July 31st is the date tomorrow when packs are going to drop. So usually the first week of August is when they drop the final pack, so I think they got another week of content that they can kind of spread out. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen, but I could be totally wrong. They could easily drop LeBron tomorrow if they wanted to, but that's just kind of my thought. Yeah, I got a little bit empty, not enough to open 10 packs or anything like that, but I might just open up 5 tomorrow and just see what happens. But yeah. And how I got that empty, if you're wondering too, I pulled a pink diamond Phil Chenier, which was a huge W, and he was worth way more MT than I thought. I ended up selling him for like $56K or something like that. So yeah, that was a huge W. But anyway, let's just get into the ranking here, man. Coming in at number 11 for these cards is Galaxy Opal Tony Allen. Now I'm going to have to scroll all the way down to the end. I believe he's the last card. And there he is right there. You have to win the Southwest Spotlight Sim. You have to win these 5 games, and then you get Opal Tony Allen. But the thing with Tony Allen is you, like, literally cannot score with this card, dude. He's one of the best defenders in this list, but he's just horrible on offense. He's he's the only card on this list. This is why he's in last. The only card on this list that I think you just can't really even buy a bucket with him. So that's why he comes in at number 11, and that's Galaxy Opal Tony Allen from the all-time Spotlight Sim. And another thing I was going to mention too before I get into number 10 is I'm not doing like GOAT Curry or GOAT Larry or GOAT Kobe, because I know there are the rewards for completing all of these, but I'm trying to help out people that don't have that much time on their hands and are just trying to get a quick opal, because you can get all these in literally a day. If you just, grind for a few hours, you have one of these cards. So it's really not that hard. Just kind of trying to help everyone out. So yeah, Tony Allen comes in at number 11 though. Horrible on offense, but is a competent defender. That's how I would describe him. And coming in at number 10, we have Patrick Beverley right next to him here. A similar card, but he is much shorter, and he does have the ability to score. So I think Tony Allen's like 6'6", 6'7", but Pat Bev is like 6'1" or something ridiculous, but maybe 6'3", but I mean, he is good on defense. He is undersized, but he can score. I think that's the difference, is that he actually has a usable release, whereas Tony Allen doesn't. So yeah, that's kind of why he comes in at number 10 on this list, and that's Opal Patrick Beverley, another all-time Spotlight Sim card. So those 2 cards, I just would not get if I was you guys. Like, they're just not even worth it. And then coming in at number 9 over here, we have Galaxy Opal Dennis Rodman. So you do have to win 10 games for this card. So he is a lot harder to obtain. But on your way of doing that, you also get Pink Diamond Horace Grant, which is another really, really bad card. Like, absolutely horrible. So with both these cards being horrible. So the thing with Dennis and Horace is they're both very good at defense yet again, but they just can't score. Like, I don't care how good a card is on defense. There's plenty of cards that are just as good on defense but are like elite scorers. So I don't really see any reason to use either one of those cards. Dennis Rodman has one of the worst releases in the entire game. And that's, the main reason that I think he's just absolutely awful. I mean, if you have a horrible... The release is the most important thing on a card. Like, just look at, like, Dwayne Wade. He's only 6'4", and he doesn't really, like, do much else. I mean, he's obviously an elite on offense and decent on defense, but the reason that he's in, like, the top 100 of cards right now is because of that release, dude. He's the only player under 6'5" that competitive My Team players are using, so... A release is just so important, and that's why I have Dennis Rodman at number 9, because his release is absolutely atrocious. So, yeah, Dennis Rodman comes in at number 9. And then at number 8, 2 spots over, is Dennis Johnson. So, he's a little bit taller than Patrick Beverley, I believe. He might be like the same height, though. I'm not really 100% sure. They're both on the shorter end. But he's not as good at defense at Pat Bev. He's not as good at defense as Pat Bev is, but... He has an elite release, and he's an elite three-point hunter, from what I've seen. I've watched a lot of gameplays on this card, and I've heard other YouTubers like DBG and stuff talk, like, really good about this card, and after I watched some gameplays, I could kind of understand why. Because, like, obviously he's super undersized, so he's not so super high on the list, but he's just very good at offense, man. So that's why he's coming in at number 8 on this list. And then we're going to scroll over and go to number 7. As you can see, I have 3 of these cards out of them, and I still haven't ranked any of them, but I'll actually go into the stats and badges when we get to those. But coming in at number 7, we have power forward center Derek Coleman. So, to me, Derek Coleman is like a much shorter, much worse Chris Bosh. And Chris Bosh is already a much worse version of James Wiseman. So, he's basically just... a very, very bad James Wiseman. He's got that release that you can't really shoot in the corner, which is really annoying. It's a good release, but you just can't shoot from the corner. And he's much shorter than Bosh and Wiseman, and you'd really only be able to run him at the 4, and there's really just nothing spectacular about him. He's just a worse Chris Bosh. So that's why he comes in at number 7. Not a horrible card if you really need a power forward. I mean, there's obviously one other guy, a couple more guys up ahead on this list that I would go for. But if you, like, for some reason like Derek Coleman and need a power forward, then I guess go ahead and get him. He's usable, but he's not, like, this is probably the first card on this list that I would say, maybe Dennis Johnson's usable too, but the bottom 3 are not usable on offense. Like, that's just what it comes down to. So, yeah, Derek Coleman comes in at number 7 on this list. So, coming in at number 6, 2 spots next to him, is Paul Pierce. Now, Paul Pierce is kind of like I would say a worse Carmelo Anthony. That's how I would describe him. He doesn't have the same release, but he has a release where you can't shoot from the corner. It's just a slightly worse release than Melo's, but it's still decent, besides the fact that he can't shoot from the corners. But you can pull up from pretty deep with this card and drain some threes. You know, he's a good shooter, a really good shooter, but that does hurt not being able to shoot from the corners, especially if you're playing him at the 3. But, yeah, he's a good card. I would just say he's a worse Carmelo Anthony, or worse prime opal Carmelo Anthony, that is. And, you know, that's kind of why he comes in at number 6. He's a usable card, but he's not great. That's how I would describe him. So, Richard Hamilton is in at number 5. And this is probably, if I'm going to get one of these cards, if by the end of the year, this is the next one that I'm going to go for, because he's just an elite cone, is what kind of a lot of people are calling him these days, and that is a player that basically just runs back and forth down the court, and you can easily hit catch and shoots with him whenever he needs to, and he's a good defender. He's not going to do anything dribbling the ball. That's kind of what the purpose of the cone nickname. But yeah, he's a shooting guard / small forward. Very solid card. He's got a very good release. He's like a little bit shorter. I would describe him as a little bit shorter Paul Pierce, but with a much better release. I think that's a good way to describe him. That's kind of why I put him above him. And yeah, coming in at number 5 is Opal Rip Hamilton. Now, coming in at number 4 is the first card out of these that I actually have. So we're going to go over to the all-time spotlight sim here, and this is Opal Detlef Shrimp. So he's a small forward, power forward. He's got an elite release. He reminds me, like, I know that a lot of people do not like Chris Mullin at all, but he reminds me of a much taller Chris Mullin with just that elite, and he's right-handed too, not left-handed. So he's got that elite like, kind of, I don't know how to describe the release, but it's really good. He's got an elite release. He's just a much taller Chris Mullin. Like I said, he's 6'9". In game he looks like he's 6'10", 6'11". I'm gonna be honest. He's pretty tall. I like running him at the 3 or 4. It really doesn't even matter. That's another plus to this card, is both his positions are useful. Some of these cards you could only run at one of their positions, but deadlift is really good. He's got 45 hops. He's got catch and shoot, range extender, quick draw, green machine, clamps, intimidator, flexible release, deadeye on Hall of Fame, and he's got 64 total badges. So he's a very, very good card, man. Extremely good card. If you guys need a small forward or power forward, I would really recommend getting this card. I really would. He's super good. Love him. Really glad I grinded for him. It was easy. I mean, you only have to win 5 games. That literally takes 4 hours max if you're really kind of trying to play through them quickly. About an average of maybe 3.5 hours. But that's really not that much time to get an opal, man, in the bigger picture. So that's, these opals are easy to get. That's why I wanted to make this video, so that if someone needs an opal at a certain position, they'll know who to get. So yeah, Deadlift Shrimp comes in at number 4. And then coming in at number 3 is another card that we do have, and that is Galaxy Opal Marc Gasol. So not to mention that you get the best pink diamond out of all these pink diamonds, in my opinion, and that is Shane Battier. When you go through him, you get him on the 5th game out of 10. So that's pretty sick. But Marc Gasol, man, I mean, definitely the best big man. Like, best to run at the center is kind of what I'm trying to say. He's the best to run at the center out of any of these cards that you can get for just the short grind. And he is 10 games instead of 5, which is sort of annoying. But like I said, you get that pretty good Shane Battier card, who's kind of another cone, but a really good cone. And, yeah, Marc Gasol is just really good, man. 7'11", or 7'1", sorry, jeez. 46 Hall of Fames, catch and shoot corner specialist. He's got range. He's got quick draw. I mean, his release is sort of slow for having Hall of Fame quick draw, but it really doesn't matter. You can't really ask for a super fast release on a big man. But, yeah, he's just a super elite card, man. He's my starting center right now on my team, and he very well could be for the rest of the year. So, yeah, Marc Gasol comes in at number 3. So, coming in at number 2, this is one of the only cards in the top 5 that I don't have besides number 5. And this is going to be Galaxy Opal Kevin McHale. Let me scroll down to him here. So, yeah, Galaxy Opal Kevin McHale. You do have to win 10 games. Pink Diamond Michael Cooper is also another solid pink diamond if you are at that stage. And, yeah, he's basically a better pink diamond Dino Raja, but a worse opal Dino Raja. That's how I would describe him. He's got those kind of similar animations. He's not as good of a ball handler, but he is a better shooter than the pink diamond Dino. And he's very good on defense. I wouldn't run him at the center position. I would much rather run Marc Gasol at the center position because he's got that 2-inch height advantage, which is a huge difference. But at the power forward, he's about, I think, the best you can probably get out of any of these cards. So that's why he comes in at number 2. I think he's definitely better than Shrimp at the 4. If he could play at the 3, he wouldn't be better than Shrimp at the 3. But, I mean, that's irrelevant because obviously you can't. He's Kevin McHale. But, yeah, he comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1, this is going to be probably pretty obvious to you guys because of the card that I mentioned at the beginning of the video and because of who's left. And this is Galaxy Opal Steve Smith. This card is absolutely elite. Like, literally, I would say he's definitely better than Opal Kobe. He's definitely better than the GOAT Curry and the GOAT Kobe, like I just said. He's not better than GOAT Bird, but he is literally the second best card that you can get for free for grinding for as far as spotlights go. He's better than GOAT cards, dude. I mean, like, he's better than... There's some people that would say that this card's better than GOAT Jordan. Like, he has just such a butter release, dude, and such a good... But he has that magic, cheesy, behind-the-back dribble animation that is just unbelievable. So easy to get open with him. 46 Hall of Fame. He's got everything you need. Just an absolutely elite card. And if you guys need someone to really boost up your team or you need someone good for triple threat, go get this man right now. I'm telling you, I've been saucing on people with this card the last few days. You need to go and get this card. But yeah, anyway, I think that's going to be about it for the video. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed the list. But like I said, that's going to be about it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Also, make sure to like and subscribe.